Hey there YouTube, welcome to our first ever video. I'm Chris and this is my daughter Carly, and if you're watching this video, odds are by the title you might want to learn a little bit about snakes, and that's kind of why we're here. The whole purpose of our video series or channel is we kind of decided we wanted snakes, didn't we? And what we found through our research and education pieces that we've been watching is we'd like to chronicle this journey on our channel. What we found is we were kind of looking out there at all the different channels that there were. A lot of experts out there, a lot of great information, but no one really chronicled kind of their journey from beginning to where they are now, and that's what we're hoping to do. We actually at this point haven't purchased our first snake yet. We're looking to purchase those snakes here probably at this next reptile show that we go to. So literally starting from scratch. We do have an enclosure set up. We'll do videos down the road about why we chose the particular enclosures that we chose. But this coming weekend is when we'll actually purchase our first snake. And so what we thought we would do, at least initially, is talk about how why we decided we wanted to get some snakes, huh? And so the reason that we did is actually your fault, isn't it? It's completely your fault as to why we decided we wanted to get into snakes. And so about a year ago, Carly came to us and told us you wanted a snake, didn't you? Why'd you want a snake?
I don't know. I really like them.
Yeah?
They're really cool animals.
They are very cool animals. We've kind of found that out as we've researched a little bit, haven't we?
And many kids don't like them.
Yeah?
And I just...
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I just feel like people can't trust snakes as much. Like, dogs can bite you and that's fine, apparently. And snakes can bite you and that's fine, apparently. But that's not fine. At the same time.
Okay, but you decided that they were pretty cute little animals and you wanted to learn more about them, right? And so that was about a year ago. And so, when she first came up, you were 8 at the time when you came up and told me that you wanted a snake. And probably like any parent, I kind of dismissed it, right? I thought it was pretty much a fad, something maybe that she saw and she really, she wanted to have this animal, but it would pass. And so, it didn't pass. She started bringing home books from the library. She would check out books, and they would be about snakes and kind of learning about snakes. And I saw her watching different YouTube videos. And what was the one that you started watching first? Do you remember?
Snake Discovery.
Snake Discovery. Yeah, that's a really good one. When I started my research, that's kind of one of the first ones I saw too. And so probably about 6 months ago, give or take, right after she had turned 9, we still was kind of coming and saying, I said, all right, fine. If you save up the money for a snake, then I'll actually buy everything that goes with the snake. I'll buy the enclosure, the food, all that fun stuff, right? Knowing that anytime she got money, it burned a hole in her pocket, right? What would you do? You'd buy squishies. You'd buy, what all would you buy with your money? Almost anything, right? Yeah. We'd go to the Five and Below store and she'd just blow it all, right? So I figured, we'll never get to the point where she'd buy a snake. And the only snakes we had ever really seen were at Petco or PetSmart. And they were, I don't know, like $80. And I thought, no way in the world she'll ever save $80. Well, she started saving money. And I think you got up to about $30 or somewhere in that neighborhood. And I thought, well, crap, man, she might actually be serious about this. And so we went to, was it a Petco, I think? And I thought, okay, well, we're gonna see if she really wants to do this. And we got a snake. And we were going to hold a snake. And they had corn snakes and king snakes and ball pythons. And we were talking to the people there, and they said, well, the ball python probably be the easiest to hold because, the corn snakes can be quick and they can kind of get away from you, whatever. Ball pythons just kind of sit there. Well, that worked out for me because it was the biggest snake, right? The biggest of the 3 that we were looking at. And I thought, no way in the world she's going to hold it. And so they came and they got the ball python out of the enclosure and handed it to you, and what happened?
I was calm.
You were calm. She was a little apprehensive, I will say, to begin with, right?
I was nervous.
A little bit nervous, and then the snake kind of chilled out, right? And it was and so then I'm like, well, great, that completely backfired, right? So this kid's saving money, and the one tactic that I had that I thought would surely do her in, she handled almost like a pro. And so at that point was when I really kind of determined, well, she's pretty serious about this, and if she's serious about it, I better learn about them too. Which was interesting to me because I had to tell this kid to even feed the dogs that we have, right? So I never really thought she'd get to a point where she was learning about snakes.
Well, there's a point where you'll take care of the animal if it's something that you really, really want, and dogs aren't something that I really, really want.
Yeah, well, I guess those are kind of your sister's dogs,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, we had the chore of feeding the dogs that she was always constantly reminded we had to do, right? And so, as I started doing my research and looking at different things online, looking at different YouTube videos, all these great mediums out there to learn about these animals, I kind of started getting a little excited about it. And so we went to our first snake or reptile show, right? You remember where that one was at?
Clever?
No, it was actually the one in Pasadena. So we went to a Repticon, was the first one that we went to. And my sole purpose at that point was, okay, well, all she had ever seen up until that point was a juvenile ball python, right? So 90 to 100 grams, maybe 2 foot long at most. And my whole purpose of that was I'm going to make her hold an adult ball python, because that was something completely out of her wheelhouse. She had never seen anything like that. And I thought for sure that's it, right? I mean, once they get pretty big, they might be intimidating and all that. And so we went, and it was pretty overwhelming. There's a lot of snakes there, weren't there? A lot of different animals and lizards, frogs, all sorts of stuff. And we found someone that had an adult female ball python out. She was a few years old. I think he said, I don't know, it was like 5 or 6 years old, but pretty big girl. He said, okay, hold it. And once again, kind of what happened?
I was still.
Yeah, she was just still a little nervous, right?
Yeah.
But I'll be danged if she didn't take that snake, throw it around her neck, and just kind of went with it. And once again, my genius plan backfired. And so it was at that point that I knew she was really serious. And she would start coming up to me and saying, hey, Dad, did you know da-da-da about ball pythons? Did you know da-da-da about ball pythons? And it was something that I have 2 other daughters, and both older than Carly, and it was things that I'd already kind of formed things that we were really interested in with those 2, but Carly and I hadn't formed that, and it kind of found out that ball pythons was kind of that thing, right? It was that thing that we could share, and I was really excited maybe more about that, even more than the animals. But I started doing my research on them, and we got to the point where we decided, okay, this is what we're going to do. And we ordered the enclosures, and like I said, here at this next show, we plan on purchasing our first animal. And ultimately, what we want, again, this to be about is our journey in that, right? And literally starting from square one, and how we raise these animals, and kind of the ways that we feel after all the research that we've done is best for them and for us. And so we're pretty excited about it, aren't we? Yeah, we're really excited. And so what we thought we would do is, we're wanting to put out maybe 1 to 2 videos a week. So we really hope that you'll join us on that journey. What do they need to do if they want to join us? Do you remember?
Subscribe.
They got to subscribe, right? And then they got to do what else? They got to ring that bell, right? So they get the notifications that we have new content out. So we certainly hope if you want to join us on that you'll do it. And we want to end every video with kind of a fun fact about ball pythons. So Carly, what's our first fun fact?
That ball pythons will, when they're scared, they'll hide their heads in their bodies if any predators or prey are going to hurt them.
Mm-hmm. And so that's why they're called
ball
pythons, right? Because they'll ball up in this little ball, and they'll hide their head, and they'll make sure that the most important part of their body, they'll try to protect that. So that's a great fun fact. So we'll end the video there. So guys, we hope that you'll join us on this journey. We're really looking forward to it. We think we're going to have a lot of fun and want you to come with us. So bye.